Hey, what's up everybody? I had kind of an interesting morning. I was working on some songs with Bob, and as everybody might go through this, I had a tremolo arm and it's got a wiggle, and maybe it was enough to make me want to try to do something finally about it. And I knew of a couple ways that I found out on the internet, and I got up this morning just to try them out. Okay, right, so here's some of the problems right off the bat. So it's the arm's loose and it's really low. It's hitting, just about to hit that. It's making contact with the body, and it's because it's missing a part. There should be a tension spring and a little ball bearing that could go in there that's been missing since forever. The first way was to take an earplug and to cut it in half somehow, and to kind of roll it up and jam it in there, and to kind of act like that spring. But so I tried it, and I finally got about a quarter of a piece down, and it took for me forever to dig it back out. And it did make a difference, like it was pushing back a little bit, doing what it was supposed to do, but I didn't quite love it. So I dug it out, which took a while, and I didn't like that either. So the other idea was to wrap some electrical tape just like around it, just around the barrel, but the tolerance is really tight. Even one wrap wasn't going to fit good, and then it kind of turned into a gooey mess. So then we went on to the third idea. Thinner tape stock, something for when I'm doing fret ends. A thinner stock is good right underneath the frets for so many reasons. I took a couple wraps of that. This has some success. We'll wind that in. You can see it's at least grabbing a little bit, and we're not making contact with the body, and it did tighten it up a bit. So in a pinch, there's that. It's still kind of just tape jammed in there. It just seems like it's going to be a gooey mess soon, but for a gig. Fourth idea is Teflon tape. If you're not familiar, it's something plumbers or pipe fitters would use. They'd wrap it around a pipe for plumbing, or this one's for gas, and it helps fill the threads up. It's made of Teflon, and it's not sticky on any sides. But you could wrap this around the threads here, and then we'll put it in, and then we'll give it a little wiggle test. I won't bore you with wrapping. So there, I've wound it from the back to the front, and you should still be able to see the threads. And I'll just cut that off with some scissors. I just want to give you an idea of the wraps there, that you can still see the threads. And the Teflon will kind of act like a lubrication in a way. Ooh, lubrication. To get in there. Okay. Still contacting the body because I'm not filling the bottom anyway, but it's starting to stay in spot. And it still wiggles a little. Maybe we'll put some more on. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, staying put now. It wiggles a little still, but not as much. But I like this because it's not a gooey mess. Don't jam so much you're forcing the threads in, and just be careful of that. But even as much as I've added, it's no problem yet. Okay, here's something a little different, getting away from the Fender style. This is looking up the bum of a Floyd Rose 1500. And right now, the trem doesn't wiggle at all. It's very nice. But you can set how much you like it to wiggle very easily. They have an Allen key right down here lower, and with a very simple, quick adjustment, you can have that stiffened up so it sits where you want it. And that's an easy one with these in this style. This tremolo here is a Floyd Rose special for a 7-string. And in this case, they went with just the push-in style. So it has 2 elastomers there, that fit around. They sit in a little groove, and you can replace these parts. You can just order them online if you thought that they were worn out. And just for giggles, I tried wrapping some of that Teflon tape and pushing it in, and it did fit and it did snug it up, but it was never that bad to begin with, that style there. So I think as long as those little washers there are good, I think you're okay. And that they're there. If you got an arm with 2 grooves, you're missing some pieces. We're back with another Floyd Rose, another special, and this one has some issues. So there's that wiggle again. If you really crank on it, you can get rid of some of it. So when we take it off, what do we see? And we're missing a part. Right where that groove is, there should be a little bushing to help this push against it and tighten it up. Here's what that could look like. I have another one. See, there's a groove there, then there's a bushing that should slide in. It goes in and captures that. There we go. Now we're back together. Now, when this comes down, it presses against that. That's where you get your nice feedback. And it looks like I will have to order one for this guitar because it's missing it. Yeah, so I think of all the things that I tried today, the Teflon tape was the one I liked the most. The electrical tape, I think if you could get it, might work for you. That looked like a lot of people tried it. And maybe you could pull it tighter and get it thinner, and maybe it's not be gunky. The Teflon tape definitely worked and stiffened it up and got it where I wanted today. And maybe ordering the other parts inside would be a good idea too. So if you came here for some woes with the wiggle stick, this helped out a lot. And the other ones, I don't know, I didn't love them, so maybe that'll save you some time. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If that was of any help, that's really awesome. That means a lot to me. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Appreciate your time, and I'll see you later, rock stars.